Back on the Columbia Cougars Coaches Show, talking Columbia College volleyball with head coach Melinda Roy Washington. The Cougars off to a nice start, 9-2 on the season. The 2 losses to top 25 opponents. We'll get into that. We'll not spend too much time on the losses. We'll concentrate on the wins, like the big win in front of the whiteout crowd at home against William Woods the other night in AMC conference play, 3-0 the final score. Take us a little bit into that matchup with a big rivalry from the school over in Fulton.
You know, they have a new coach this year, so several new players. So we didn't really know what to expect coming in. We didn't have game film on them yet. You know, they came in, they had a solid warm-up. We watched them through their warm-up and, you know, thought we need to really play well tonight. And fortunately for us, our girls came out and played really well. They controlled the pace of the game with serving, passed really well, and I was really pleased with our performance. And
again, we talked about the new addition with Aaliyah back in the libero position, but again, with so much experience with Paula Fajeda coming back, Vesna Trivunovic, everybody. I mean, if I start listing them, I'm going to forget everybody, but the rhythm of the team so far, is it where you would like it? What is the biggest thing right now if you were to have to stop it at 11 matches in, you're getting ready to go to Harris Stowe next in conference play? Where are you putting things at vibe-wise as far as the coach is concerned?
You know, I think we're not comfortable yet with the loss of Tally Matos. I think we're still adjusting to that. We've tried Erin Pavlin in the libero spot. We've tried Aaliyah Hayes in the libero spot, and right now it's coming down to where we're most comfortable. Aaliyah's always played in the right back position, and Erin Pavlin in high school before she came to the Cougars was always in the left back position. And we struggled a little bit earlier with some injuries down in Graceland, and we actually suffered a loss there. And you know, some other things that are just nagging injuries with the team. And as far as our comfort level, it seems to be serving us well right now to have our backcourt at least be comfortable, which puts Aaliyah in the right side and Pavlin back in the libero spot. Both are very capable of playing either spot. But the comfort level to be relaxed in the back row and kind of take a little bit of pressure off of those front row players who might be brought down a little bit with nagging injuries right now. That seems to be working. We're still practicing different lineups, so there's girls that are coming on in different positions. Trinity Ojo is really starting to show promise as far as offensively. She's taking over as our #1 offensive middle, but she needs to do a little bit more work with blocking. You know, the other 2 middles, Ola Shockey and Nicole Murphy, same thing. You know, they're getting better as players still. So I would say the #1 thing is the comfort level. We need to get over that and be comfortable with our deep court right now with Tally gone.
Mix it in there, and it's amazing how just that one position, but such a crucial piece, if you will, the quarterback in football or the starting pitcher on a baseball or softball team. The 2 losses, one in the Graceland Invitational, as you mentioned, you finished 3-1 in that tournament. You lost to number 20 Oklahoma Baptist. And then the other loss at home early on in the Quality and Classic was to Texas at Brownsville, which has been a rivalry here over the last couple seasons, especially at their place last year and then this year. Take us through the losses and what you guys have learned from the defeats.
I think the Texas-Brownsville matchup with us is a really bad matchup. It just seems, you know, the style of play of both teams, we're a little bit quicker. They're a little bit slower on the outside, but their middles are huge. You know, their passing isn't that great, and our passing has typically been our strong point, but in that match, we could not pass the ball. We just could not, and the serves weren't all that tough. We just could not pass the ball. It was really frustrating. Not that we were shanking balls off, but you know, we were putting everything on the 10-foot line, and Paula can't set an offense from there. And whenever you have a team like Brownsville that is huge all the way around, I think every player other than the setters over 6'1", 6'2", long-armed, you know, blockers, you can't play like that. And I think we estimated in the match we gave them 25 points in error. Serving and passing errors, which are terminal plays, we gave them a full set of points. And you can't do that and win a match. And that was just, we just didn't play well that night. You know,
whether the #4 team in the country or nobody, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
it didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered who was there. And you just can't give a team a set in unforced errors. And you know, it was learning for us. We need to learn that, you know, you have to earn every point. You can't take anything for granted. You need to go out and mentally focus through every point because everyone counts, you know. The loss at Graceland was to a very good Oklahoma Baptist team who really rallied that day. I won't take anything away from their team. They played really well. our team that day, we had a few injuries and players that weren't completely out of the game. They were still playing, but you could tell if you had watched the Columbia in previous weeks that it wasn't the same level of play on our side of the net. However, they played really well, Oklahoma Baptist. They were digging everything and just putting the ball back in play. We were making some hitting errors, and once again, our passing kind of failed us a little bit.
And again, we go back to that, really any of the teams in the top 20, 25, if you're off just a little bit in whether it's the passing or defensively or whatever the case is, anybody's beatable, and you make that run. We're going to talk a little bit about the AMC conference, preview some of the teams who are next for the Cougars in their conference schedule, and also talk a little bit about Paula Fajeda, a couple big honors already for her out of the gate in 2011, and the alumni match. I'm curious what's on the T-shirt for this year. We'll see. We'll come back and talk more with head coach Melinda Rye Washington. Columbia Cougar Volleyball, the topic here on this edition of Columbia Cougars Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22.